Hey there, everybody. Matt Carter here.
And Jessica Carter.
This is our NCIS reaction to Season 17, Episode 19, entitled Blarney. I love this episode. I may love this.
So good, right?
I may love this episode for like a wide array of really ridiculous reasons, but I love Jimmy Palmer front and center.
Punching Max over and over again.
Yeah, I love Jimmy Palmer, action hero.
Was
I
good.
love Kasie being like covert operative. I love all the idiot like robbers that were at the center of this, and they're smart enough to be dangerous, but they're also still idiots, which is I weirdly kind of appreciate that.
This is really one of those perfect NCIS episodes where you can go back and watch this over and over again and you're going to have fun every time. It is just sort of those TV comfort food, jump in, have this crazy weird diamond heist going on, and then jump out and it's a good time. This was such a good time.
I had so much fun watching this, and we're gonna have fun, I believe, talking about it. And if you guys do like this video, be sure to give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and also ring the notification bell so you don't miss any other updates. Are you ready for the introduction to the Matt Carter heist movie cliches?
Let's have it.
Okay,
Lay it out.
I love heists. I have watched too many of them, but okay.
I love heists too, and I love really good heist shows or shows that do that, like Animal Kingdom, like
Yeah.
White Collar. I love this type of stuff. So this episode, big episode for me, plus Jimmy, of course, and I love me some Kasie, so this was good. Okay, let's get to it.
All right, this is like Diet Animal Kingdom, basically. But okay, every good heist, you have the boss. You have the guy who like comes in and screams a lot and claims that they have the plan. You have that's Max.
You also have the guy who always believes everything.
Yeah, that guy is what I like to call that guy is the heavy. That guy is the guy who never really thinks about anything all that much. He just does what the boss says, and usually they're angry and they got like a lot of muscles, and usually they're bald, just like this guy was bald. Then you have the goon, otherwise known as the wild card, when you all run in to do the bank heist, and that guy like starts singing some weird song, and you're like, what are you doing? And then he's like, I'm the wild card, and then he gets really confused.
Yeah, or he starts doing something that's not part of the plan, where
Yeah.
it's like, we're here for the diamonds. Oh, but what about these watches?
Yeah.
And this guy had a sandwich on his desk. Why are you running out with this sandwich? I'm the wild card.
Yes, boom, wild card. For everyone who's seen It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, the wild card gift, that's it. Okay, and then you have the driver, which, spoiler alert, the driver dies a lot in a lot of these.
Yeah, and the driver died before he even got to the heist.
Yeah, not exactly a good episode for certain parts of the heist movie cliche.
Yes.
There is our setting. We have set the table here. There are so many parts of this plan that these guys have that is just so incredibly just dumb.
Oh my goodness.
For example, the swallowing diamonds in, let's just say, a cocoon, if you will.
Yeah, I didn't even understand why that needed to be a thing. Like, I know you're gonna get to Argentina and all that, but like, guys, you couldn't have figured that out or done that later, like down the road a little bit. It had to be in the jewelry store while it was happening.
Better plan to go to Argentina, these heist idiots, or Dexter and Hannah from Dexter late on in the series
no
run.
kidding.
No, this was just they didn't need to do the diamond swallowing. I feel if you're already breaking all the other laws, why are you caring about being worried about diamonds being caught across the border?
Yeah, exactly. I would have also thought that they would have wanted to make sure, you never know, sometimes things go a little awry like they did. So do you want to swallow your diamonds too quickly?
Also, how much mileage are you planning to get out of this helicopter that you're going up from the diner? Like, I feel like this was sort of drawn in crayon somewhere, and they just thought, wouldn't this be fun? And then the other guys were like hypnotized somewhere to go along with it. Like, none of this plan was good, but it was all kind of very good for us.
And why does everybody want a helicopter? Because you know whoever's flying that helicopter is probably going to fly you to jail. Like, really?
Yeah, like maybe you could have had a better driver, but you killed the driver already, so you're out of luck there.
Yeah.
None of you guys know how to drive a helicopter. That is pretty much clear.
Yeah, and some of the things, even when Gibbs was standing outside with the van, he's like, here, get in the van. I'm going to take you to the helicopter. I was like, Gibbs, I don't even believe you. Like, come on. Of course this guy's not going to be like, oh, okay, let me get in the van.
If anyone ever says get in the van, the answer is no. Let's make that very, very clear here.
Yeah. And if you're doing something bad and Gibbs tells you to get in the van, do not get in the van.
No, don't get this.
He's not taking you to a helicopter. He's not taking you to the airport. He's taking you directly to jail.
Yeah, Gibbs may need to work on that part of his hostage negotiation skills at the same time. I'm not saying these guys are geniuses by any means, but I think they know that get in the van is not a...
It's not landing you in Argentina.
You know what? I love that this episode was set in the diner.
Yes.
Because it does, like, add that level of, like, comfort to it. Can I just say this, though? I would never in a million years eat that green bagel. The moment you give me a green bagel, I don't care if it's St. Patrick's Day. I love the color green. I am out fast on the green bagel.
Oh my goodness. Okay, St. Patrick's Day. Everybody loves to turn everything green. All your donuts are green. All your bagels are green. Everything is green.
I am proud to say I have never had a green donut. I have had a green donut. I haven't had a green bagel.
I haven't had a green, I think anything that's dyed green for St. Patrick's Day is not really something that I celebrate, but also the color of food. I mean, listen, like anyone out there that remembers that ketchup, remember when Heinz was doing that thing where it's like, oh, your ketchup is purple and it's green and it's not red anymore and look at all this coolness. I just couldn't get behind it. Like, I don't know what it is, but if something is supposed to be red, you can't all of a sudden squeeze out purple all over my sandwich.
I bought the green ketchup.
Oh my goodness.
I bought it and a fly got stuck in it once, and so it was traumatizing for me for the rest of the time, and I never had it again. But okay, see, the
things you learn these videos.
These are educational. We're teaching things, and we're teaching people things, such
You're
as...
teaching me that you ate green ketchup.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I've also helped educate everyone as to what heist movie cliche they would be in a given situation. But okay, so now we have Jimmy, we have Kasie, very impressed with everything they're able to do in this episode.
Yeah, the fact that Jimmy had to basically perform an autopsy in a diner was pretty spectacular. There was a lot of really good stuff here, and I mean, I love Jimmy. If I can see Jimmy, I could watch Jimmy all the time. Jimmy can have the Morgue spin-off special, and I'll watch that. But it was really cool to see the two of them. I mean, they feel like they would be friends sort of outside of work and all that kind of good stuff. So to see them there and working together, we don't get enough just Kasie in general. We get her a little bit, of course, in the lab and doing her thing. But seeing her outside the office in this type of situation and seeing how quick she is on her feet, I really like that.
I don't know if this is going to translate to where we actually see more of Jimmy and Kasie sort of thinking like this.
It.
Probably not. I don't think you're going to be seeing Gibbs be like, well, because you did a good job in the diner and you made sure I could come get my eggs in the future, you can now come out on the field with us.
Yeah, I was kind of, before we saw this episode, I was wondering if this might put Kasie in sort of a frame of mind that maybe she wants to have a little bit more field training just in case she's in these types of situations. Not to become an agent or anything like that, but maybe to just have a bit more, like a situation like this is going to give her more of an appreciation of what Gibbs and the whole team does while they're out in the field. And I could have sort of saw maybe that story could have developed where afterwards she's like, I don't want to be a field agent, but I need to know a little bit more than what I know. No, it doesn't seem like it's going in that direction, but maybe I just wanted that story for Kasie.
I think it could have been fun. I think it could be a way to sort of expand that character outward and give her a little bit something more to do.
I don't need her getting trained by Odette to be the next, She's going
to sweep the leg.
Yeah, she doesn't need to sweep anybody's leg out, but I thought maybe she'd be in kind of a position where she certainly wasn't helpless or anything like that in this situation. She did a great job thinking on her feet, but that maybe she wanted to feel just a little more confident that if she's in this type of situation again, and because she is working with the NCIS, she probably will be in some kind of situation again. This one was random, but maybe not in the future, right? So
yeah, you never know exactly what is going to happen when you work for NCIS. I think that much. The only thing that you can count on is that Gibbs is going to interrupt some random conversation at the start of the episode, and that is pretty much it. They did find, it's kind of interesting, because nobody really outside of Gibbs, Jimmy, and Kasie has like a huge role, but everyone was actually in this episode still, because it was like we had a couple minutes of Bishop and Torres, you had McGee in his green shirt, Vance makes an appearance.
Yeah, Sloane's back at the office, working that wife over.
Yeah, everybody's doing something, and Rocky Carroll's even directing this episode, so he's like pulling double duty at the end of all of it. I'm kind of disappointed we didn't get to see like the news broadcast ceremony where like the diner is like, you know, hoisting up Jimmy and Kasie and being like, you can get all the pancakes you want for the rest of your life.
I was actually surprised at the end. I know we saw that sort of like, if you want to talk to Sloane, you want to talk to Dr. Grace, there's somebody that we can talk to. There was no mention of the fact that Jimmy ended up basically desecrating a body. Like he did an autopsy on a body in a diner, and that there was no sort of like, even just a passing line of like, don't worry, we understand you were under duress, that this was what was happening, to just sort of like, I guess, kind of tie that up a little bit, because he cut apart a body in a diner of someone that he wasn't assigned to do any sort of pathology on.
It's a good point. I always wonder, I mean, does Gibbs oversee Jimmy when it comes to that sort of stuff? Is there like an autopsy boss? I don't know the hierarchy for this sort of thing, but
I don't know what it is there.
Yeah, I really don't know, but they all have their like ceremonial toast. We don't get any free pancake offers. Maybe this is it.
Well, this was also interesting. I saw some of you guys talking about it online as well, and I noticed it as well. And I don't have any answers for it, but I'm still going to bring it up. So we had Vance come in with these 4 drinks. I'm assuming whiskey, something that seemed like a brown drink. So either like a whiskey, a bourbon, something along those lines. Everybody got one of the 4 of them, and then Gibbs decided to toast with his coffee. Now, we all know that Gibbs and his coffee, we know coffee. We would pick the coffee as well.
For sure.
But I was very curious when I saw that he didn't toast with the whiskey or bourbon with everybody else.
Yeah, that was a little bit surprising that it didn't happen that way, especially after a hard day's work. I don't know what was going on. I don't know if, like, you know, was Gibbs about the drive home after the fact? That didn't really explain anything.
Yeah, like I said, I don't have an answer for it, but it definitely was something that I was like, this is interesting. Maybe they just wanted to lean into the fact that Gibbs always has his coffee, and that's where they were going with it. But, you know, it's the end of the day. Is he still drinking coffee at the end of the day? I mean, you never know. You sometimes drink coffee at the end of the day. So, you know, it could be a thing. I just thought it curious when I saw that, and I was like, I'm going to see if anybody else noticed this. And I did see that other people were talking about it, and nobody had any answers. So, Steve, Frank, I know you guys are watching this video 13 minutes in. If you have an answer for us, let us know in the comments.
He wanted to be awake so that he could work on his boat later, so he needed some coffee to give him a helping hand.
Maybe.
See, the thing is that this is probably the penultimate episode of the season, based on kind of what has been said, that they were able to do, you know, around 20 episodes.
Yep.
And, you know, it's sad to think of that, but I will say, given the circumstances, given everything that was going on, this felt like a really good penultimate episode. It was just, we didn't really learn a lot long term, but it was fun. It was exciting. You got some drama.
Yeah. I mean, for me, if it, you know, it's all going to end a little earlier than we all hoped. If this was the finale, this would have been a really great finale. And I say that because I know that we're going to be missing out on a few episodes that probably had some like crazy cliffhangers and this and that and whatever to talk about, because we know we're not going to get them and we don't know yet what they're going to do with them, if they are going to include them next season, if they're going to start something new next season, we don't know what's going on, that this would have been a good way to sort of end it. You don't need to end it on a cliffhanger for us, because we don't want to be in a situation where it's like, oh, and then Jimmy never got an assistant, and why now has that happened? Because he was working 14 hours a day, and he's still working 14 hours a day, but now he still doesn't need an assistant? Come on, where is that storyline?
I know. Maybe for season 18. Maybe it'll come up then at that point, but...
Well, what I'm saying is they're in a strange position right now, so they may not be able to give... like some kind of a cliffhanger, and if there is one in the next episode, then what does that mean for next season and all of that? So we'll talk a little bit more about that in the preview. Yeah, we do have a preview coming up shortly for episode 20, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Also, let us know what you thought about this episode in the comments, which, by the way, I am the wild card. I am not going to be the boss. I am definitely not the heavy, and I can't drive, so... that is my role. I would say I'm the driver, because I'm the driver here as well, but man, don't be the driver. That guy got killed early. That's a bad idea. Don't be the driver. Well, Coco Chanel is the boss, so I'm not sure where that leaves me. That is true. I'm probably the one who's going to believe people when they're like, oh, you swallowed those diamonds? Okay. Everything bad is happening inside you now. And I'm all like, God, oh boy, I'm in my feelings. All right, well, after all this illuminating information, if you guys did like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and you can support us further by checking the link in the description to the store, and we'll see you here next time.